We're filing a class action lawsuit against USCIS. Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, Washington, D.C., and Chicago, Illinois. In today's video, we're going to talk about a class action lawsuit that my firm plans to file against USCIS for this immigration pause for people from 19 countries around the world. USCIS says that they don't have to process those people's applications, that they put them on hold for as long as USCIS wants. They've also paused all asylum applications, and we are going to challenge those decisions in federal court. In addition, we're going to challenge the fact that USCIS wants to call a significant negative factor that fact that people are from these 19 countries. So in this video, we're going to talk about what a class action is, how it works, what it does, what it doesn't do, and tell you about an exciting webinar we're going to have on Friday for anybody who's thinking about being included in our lawsuit. As you're probably aware, USCIS is an agency that's been charged by Congress through federal legislation to process immigration applications. Congress has written something called the Immigration and Nationality Act. That is the immigration rules and laws of this country, and everybody has to follow the law, not just individuals applying for immigration benefits, but USCIS as well. In addition, they have regulations about how they're supposed to process green card cases, citizenship cases, asylum cases, and they are no longer following the law. You may have seen the news over the past few weeks about immigrants who were just about ready to get their naturalization ceremony, about to become U.S. citizens, about to receive their work cards, who have been scheduled for an interview and then mysteriously descheduled. This is all because of the illegal USCIS policy. So over the past few weeks, they've issued a few policy memoranda, and in those memos to the field offices, they say that they can unilaterally, on their own, without any basis in law, pause the processing of any immigration benefits for people from these 19 countries and for anybody who is applying for asylum. They're using the pretext of the very sad tragedy in Washington, D.C., where two National Guard members were shot by an Afghan national. And they're saying, well, we're not going to process any immigration cases for anybody from these 19 countries that we don't like, even though Congress does not give them the ability to do that. It's very important that we challenge this in federal court because no agency should be able to make up rules on their own. No agency should be able to say, we don't feel like doing our job anymore. No agency should be able to stop immigrants from getting the benefits that Congress has provided that they are entitled to. So our lawsuit will include two classes of people. So the first will be those people who have come to the United States from one of the 19 countries. And let's take a look at those countries right now. So we have Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. There is a full ban on the issuance of visas to those people, but now USCIS wants to take that ban and apply it to people inside the United States without any authority whatsoever. The same goes for people who are under the partial ban, and that's the 7 countries of Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, or Venezuela. So we are looking for individuals from these countries because they are affected by this class action. They are affected by this change in policy by USCIS, even if they don't know it. And so in order to challenge that, we need immigrants who are going through the process to join us in this class action that we're filing against USCIS for their illegal action. The second class of people would be anybody who's applying for asylum. So federal law says that if you're physically present in the United States, you can raise your hand and make a claim for asylum and say, hey, we want to stay in the United States. We fear persecution if we go back home, and we need the United States government to protect us. There are tons and tons of laws and regulations about how asylum is supposed to work. And in none of those laws is there a rule that says USCIS can stop processing applications for anybody in a certain type of immigration case like asylum. We believe that these freezes violate the law, that USCIS cannot say we're going to impose a nationality ban that was thrown out by Congress in the 1960s, and they can't say that we're going to no longer process any asylum cases for anyone in the United States. Our lawsuit will ask a federal judge to order USCIS to continue processing these cases and that what they're doing is illegal. So if you decide to join our lawsuit, it's important to know that doesn't automatically mean your case is going to start getting processed again. We're going to have to file the action in court. We're going to have to serve it on the government, and we're going to ask a judge to rule expeditiously that this process and this pause that USCIS has now imposed is illegal. Joining the lawsuit does not mean that we are taking over your underlying case. If you need our help with an underlying case, that would be separate from this class action lawsuit. This is just an action to challenge the legality of the action by USCIS to pause the processing of these cases. We're calling this pause the big freeze. By joining the lawsuit, you're just asking the court to compel USCIS to continue processing your case. Couple things to keep in mind. This is not going to be like a regular lawsuit. We have filed over 2,000 lawsuits. It's one of our favorite things to do. When we file those lawsuits, we're trying to get an individualized decision on an individual's case. That's not what this is about. This is about challenging a decision by an agency to stop processing, and it's going to be you and a group of many other people included in the lawsuit. What does that mean? It means we won't be able to provide individual guidance about your case, and we won't be able to provide individual communication. We'll be doing webinars and weekly updates by email to members of the class, but we won't be able to talk to individuals about their particular case unless they want to hire us to do that particular case. But as far as being in the class action, you're just a named plaintiff and with a factual basis for why you deserve to be in the lawsuit, so we can explain it to the court why your case needs to get processed and it should not be paused. And then that means also that we won't be able to send you emails on an individual basis. We'll be sending out blast emails to everybody so that everyone is informed whenever there's something new for us to tell you. So anybody from the 19 countries or anybody with an asylum application that's pending, whether you had an interview scheduled or descheduled, whether you had a ceremony coming up or it was canceled, whether you had anything moving at USCIS that is now perhaps paused, it doesn't matter if you know that it's paused. The lawsuit challenges the underlying decision by the agency. So even though you might not know that in your own little case that your case has been paused, you won't know that we can include you in the lawsuit. Now, you may be asking yourself, why should I be included in this lawsuit? If Jim is going to file this lawsuit on behalf of me and all the other people from the 19 countries, or me and all the other people who have pending asylum cases, why do I need to be in this lawsuit? Well, one thing USCIS likes to do is they like to try to moot out the case. And moot means to make the case go away. The way they do that is they start adjudicating the underlying cases. So if I put a plaintiff in the lawsuit, let's say I just had one plaintiff, and USCIS wanted to make the case go away. They didn't want a judge to rule that this was illegal. They would just start working on that individual plaintiff's case. Well, that's why we add as many people as possible. And the side benefit is that a lot of times USCIS will begin working on people's cases. So that's one reason why you want to be in the lawsuit. But the bigger reason why you want to be included in our class action is because the judge might not grant the class action. The judge might just grant relief to the people in the lawsuit, if that makes sense. The judge might say, hey, I'm going to declare that what USCIS has done is illegal, and I'm going to require USCIS to continue processing the cases of these 10 people, 100 people, 200 people that I have in front of me without making it a national class action, without making it apply to everybody going through the immigration process. Sometimes judges do that. We don't know if the judge will do that or not. We'll do our best to get it certified as a class action. We'll do our best to get it to apply to everybody who has a pending citizenship case that's been paused, green card case that's been paused, asylum case that's been paused. All the things that we can do, we will do, and we will include as many people in the lawsuit as we can. And that's because we don't know if the judge will certify the class. So time will tell whether we get to represent everybody across the country who's been screwed over by this process. But in the meantime, you should seriously think about being in the lawsuit in order to have your case at least included in the list of ones that the judge might order be decided on a normal time frame. And that's an important thing. We're not asking for anything special. We're just asking for USCIS to do their job. They don't get to pick and choose which cases they put over others, which cases they pause, which cases they decide to not issue any benefits to people. And this is having a real world impact on people. People need to become a citizen. They need their work cards. They need their green cards. This is a true hardship that we're seeing across the land, and it's really unfair and illegal. So the legal fee to be included in the lawsuit is $1,000. Now, I would love to be able to do this for free, but I have a law firm to run. We have people that work on this. It's going to be a huge undertaking. It's going to take a lot of my own personal attorney time. I'll be working a lot on this with everybody else in our firm. And so we have to charge a legal fee for this. And what we decided to do was to charge people $1,000. So if you want to be included in the lawsuit, it's going to be $1,000. You can either pay it up front, which is easiest, or you can pay $500 up front and $500 30 days later. Now, one of the things that we will ask for in the lawsuit is to get our attorney's fees back. So there's a law called the Equal Access to Justice Act, which allows people who sue the government and win to get their legal fees back. So we will be keeping track of our time, and we will be asking a judge, or if we win and get our clients the immigration benefits that they deserve, or we get the judge to declare that what USCIS is doing is illegal, then we will be entitled to attorney's fees under the Equal Access to Justice Act, and we'll be asking the judge for those fees. So you might get a partial refund or a total refund in case that the case goes to the mat and we win, and the judge declares that we won the case and that we are entitled to those fees. There's no guarantee of that, but I would think of it as a short-term investment that I might get my money back, and more importantly, I'll be getting my immigration case moving, and I'll be included in the initial group of people who might have a judicial order deciding that the actions by USCIS are illegal. That's an important thing to remember. This is not a guarantee. I don't know for sure that this is going to work. We're going to do our very best. We're going to work really, really hard for you and everybody else in the class, and we hope that it works, but we just don't know for sure. So if you're thinking about being in the lawsuit, there's a couple of things you need to know. One, I'm going to do a webinar where I'll be talking about the whole process again. It'll be a closed webinar in a safe environment where people can come and ask questions. It'll be a private link to that webinar, and if you want to get information about that, then go ahead and click right up there on the QR code. You can do that, or you can email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. We'll also put the link to the landing page for people that are interested in the lawsuit, and you'll be able to find out more information by filling out that form, and our team will follow up with you. Like I said, there's a simple attorney-client agreement for the class action, and there's the $1,000 fee you'll get invoiced for, and then you're in the lawsuit. So we don't know right now how many people we can be including in the original lawsuit. We are reaching out to the court today to find out the maximum number of immigrants that I can include in the lawsuit. So again, if you're thinking about being included in the lawsuit, just go up here to the QR code, or you can click on the link in the first comment as to how you contact us. Let us know that you're interested. Let us know what kind of case you have, and we will be back to you as soon as we can. We're going to have a lot of interest, I think. There's going to be a lot of people that want to be included in the lawsuit. Otherwise, join us at the webinar on Friday at 2:30 p.m. Central. We'd love to see you there, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thanks, everybody.